Hello. That would help. I forget I'm using a different camera now for the painting streams. So I've been speaking to myself for 10 minutes. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, well, that's not embarrassing at all. Cool. I was complaining because I'm convinced that my kids have lost one of my pots of paint. So if you just tuned in, you just missed me complaining about my kids for 10 minutes. So you missed nothing. Because I found one of my pots of paint open, and I'm pretty sure I didn't put it away open. So I'm like, little fingers in my room while I'm at work, huh? But yeah, I was saying knights. Knights. 10% increase. Badly needed, says final boss. Yeah, badly needed. The knights needed a point increase. So that's great news. I think, honestly, we could have... I think we knew as soon as we saw those knights costs. When they first came out, we knew they were going to be undercosted. So I was speaking to Andrew today. He played knights just this weekend past at an RTT. Actually won the RTT with knights, and his list went up 180 points. So he would have to drop... He basically has to drop a big knight now, right? Because 180 points isn't enough to drop one of his armigers. So that's good, I think. And then... Death Guard, some big nerfs as well, right? I think, again, we could have probably told you the second we saw those Death Guard points that some of them were a bit undercosted. Especially the bloat drones. They went up 20%. Good. I'm happy. I'm going to play Death Guard next Wednesday night. So I'll take that new Angelic Inheritors list I was building last night. Well, I wasn't building it last night, but the video went out last night. I'll take that new Angelic Inheritors list, I'll take it up against Death Guard next week. I feel like if it can beat Death Guard, then we know that the list has some strength. Because I think even with points increases, I still think Death Guard are a very anti-Blood Angels army, right? Like, they make all of our saves worse, they make all of our toughness worse. They're just difficult for us to deal with in general, I feel like. So, yeah, it'll be good to play them next week. And it'll be good to see the new points in action. So, yeah, I think the points... I did glance through the rest of the stuff. I think overall I'm just happy that the two armies that I think really were undercosted are fixed, maybe? Hello, Jim. My friend who plays Death Guard was 180 over in his main list. That sounds about right. Yeah, I mean, their stuff was criminally undercosted. Like I said, the second those points got released, I think we all knew that they were criminally undercosted. So, happy about that. Super happy. I don't want to play them when they're that undercosted. Hello, Daldo Black. Daldo Black? Thanks so much for subscribing, I do appreciate it. Yeah, I don't think anyone really wanted to play them when they're undercosted. Like, everybody knew that Knights and Death Guard were just a bit silly at the moment. So, I think it's great. Out of 2 Lancers or 2 Ballistas, which is the better option? If you're taking a Thunderstrike. My problem with the Lancer is I feel like it's not got any weight of fire. Right? Like, if you come up to an enemy with a good invuln save, let's say a 4-up invuln, you shoot it twice with the Lancer, you wound it twice with the Lancer, he passes one, he fails the other one, and then he uses his command reroll, and then you actually did no damage. So, I actually do own 2 Lancers, and I occasionally do try to play them. Occasionally. But yeah, I feel like I'm really not a fan of Lancers, I'm afraid. I like Ballistas Dreadnoughts. But yeah, maybe it's just... If you come up against an enemy that has no invulnerable save, then I guess your Lancers are really good, but it doesn't feel like that's something that happens all often in the meta, right? Like, I don't feel like I'm coming up against tons of enemies where, like, the AP4 in the Lancer is really meaningful. It's AP4, isn't it? I feel like it's AP4. Maybe it's AP3. But yeah, I don't... No, I think it's AP4. I don't think I ever feel like it's really meaningful. The Lancer's AP. Or at least in the meta that I play into, it very rarely feels like, oh my goodness, the Lancers hit me. You know, normally when the Lancer hits the enemy, like I said, they're going to save enough 4-up, and then they're just going to 50-50 one of the fails with the command point. Because they know it can do 10 damage, or 9 damage. So it does feel like they just use the command point. Like, if it's a fail against a Lancer, they're just likely to command point it, right? Like, that is a common thing that happens. Yeah, Jeffrey says he's happy that Death Guard got nerfed. Like I said, they needed... They really realistically needed a day one nerf. They've been the boogeyman in the edition for like 3 months. So I've played Death Guard, I think, since their new codex came out 6 times, and I've lost 5 times. So it'll be great to play them on the channel next week and see if it's at least closer, and see if, like, well, everything's gone. Everything that they were using that they were using to abuse people has gone up. Plague Burst Crawlers up, like, what, just under 10%. Death Shroud Terminators up 20 points, that's like over 10%. Those Bloat Drones up 20 points, that is 20%. So, like, straight away, 3 of their most problematic units, you're just if you've been taking a few of those units, your army's just instantly up 100 points. So I feel a little bit happy about that. When Sisters of Battle were strong, they received points hikes and then a rules nerf. Yeah, I don't know if they need a rules nerf. I guess we'll find out if they're still top of the meta, right? But I think that the points hikes should be enough. I think losing one entire big knight is pretty huge for a Knights player. And I think, I mean, essentially you're losing a whole squad of Death Shroud. Or you're losing a whole Plague Burst Crawler, or you're just losing one 200-point unit, give or take. I think that's a meaningful start for the nerf, or the points hikes, whatever we're calling it. I mean, I guess it is a nerf, right? But yeah, good evening everyone, and next week we'll play against Death Guard on the channel. We'll play Angelic Inheritors, we'll see how that does. Have you ever played against Harlequins? Yeah, I mean, I have a Harlequin army. I have 5,500 points of Eldar. Have I ever used that army yet? No. But I did buy it. Jeffrey says 57 days till his first GT. I've got a lot of RT level tournaments, but I'm finally dipping into the GT. Well, good luck in that, Jeffrey. I typically prefer GTs to RTTs. I just feel like you get a bigger pool of opponents to play against, which is sort of what I like. Like, more variance, something like that anyway. Yeah, the Eldar Codex is strong, dude. Like, really strong. All the reactive move, battle focus stuff they can do. Fight first. Yeah, I played against a Yunari list in the last GT I was at, and it was really, really strong. My list actually really couldn't deal with it at all. But, I mean, Yunari just have, like, a crazy amount of fight first. I think he had, like, 3 fight first units combined with the fact that, every combat phase you can just pick something to fight first as well. So like my list just didn't deal with that, I guess. But you know, I don't think I've played Harlequins since the new codex, but I played against Yunari. And I think I've played against like just regular good old Eldar. Or Eldari, like one of the standard detachments. But no, I think they're really good. You don't realise until you play against them how much power all that movement shenanigans they can do can be. And Fugin, I mean, if you're playing Eldar, I would probably try and get Fugin into my list, because honestly I think he's one of the best characters in the game right now. He's just so powerful. And then when you include the battle focus stuff, he's just bonkers. Like Fugan and 5 fire dragons, I feel like almost are guaranteed to return their points cost. Like, they just kill anything. And then here's the thing: they can also like jump back in transports after they've shot and all sorts of shenanigans. It's really, really strong. Do the 3 grots ever play each other? We have never met each other in real life, actually, the 3 grots, so the answer would be no. We would like to meet each other, but we live at opposite ends of the country. And I still struggle with travelling quite a bit at the moment, because, like, I've still got very young children that are not easy for my wife to deal with when I'm away for, like, tournaments and stuff like that. But yeah, I've got the new Eldar Codex. I've read through it a few times. I think if you put a lot of time and effort into learning it, it is a very strong book. I think there's some great... I think there really is some great synergies and some great units in that list. Or in the Eldar Codex. I think I could do it, but like... I guess like my channel is more Marine focused. I read the new rules for Vulcan today. I think that they actually sound pretty cool, right? The new Salamanders detachment. I don't know if you guys caught up on that. Maybe I'll do a quick like breakdown of what's cool with the Salamanders detachment. But they got some cool stuff. It's like they can have devastating wounds on their flamers. They can have +1 to wound on their flamers. They can get every model that's got a flamer to get an extra shot. They can reroll wounds on the flamers. There's something else I feel like. What was it? +1 to wound, reroll wounds, devastating wounds. I feel like there was one other rule. I'm forgetting it now. But yeah, I like the new... like if you're going to go flamers, McFatson would love that detachment, right? Because that is just McFatson through and through. Flamers, flamers, flamers. And also Infernus Marines in that detachment can like, what was it, like they can advance, or they can shoot and perform actions. They can advance and perform yeah, I think it was they could advance and perform actions. I think in that detachment 30 Infernus Marines would be pretty cool. I don't know if you need a transport for them though. Like I don't really know how you're delivering them. I suppose you could have 10 of them in a drop pod. Don't see that too often. I wasn't really interested, like for Blood Angels I don't really have any interest in the new drop pod rules. But I guess if you've got some sort of crazy synergy around the flamers, there could be a weird synergy there where it's like your flamers are going to reroll hits and everyone's getting an extra shot, and everyone's got devastating wounds, and everyone's got potentially +1 to wound. Like, yeah, I mean, it's not the greatest AP, but I think you could have fun with that detachment. Whether or not it's crazy competitive, I guess, is another question. But I think you could have fun with it. Yeah, Infernus Marines in a drop pod. I've got like 20 Infernus Marines. I just haven't built any of them. I think that's the thing that was like, I don't know if I want to build 20 Infernus Marines. Because someone was like, John, are you going to play the new Salamanders detachment? And I was like, I do have a bunch of Flamer Centurions. I do have a bunch of Flamer aggressors, but yeah, I definitely don't have any Infernus Marines built, and up until recently I've had literally no inclination to build them. I'll let someone else do that. Someone will come up with a cool list, I'm sure. using Infernus Marines. I like how they've just sort of doubled down and just been like, if you use flamers, or like, you should just be using flamers in this detachment. Nothing else, just the flamers. Or Meltas. I guess there was a couple of things for Meltas in there as well, right? And then last night, it seems like it's all go at Warhammer at the moment, because last night they released the trailer for Dawn of War 4. I checked it out. I actually really, really like real-time strategy games. Like, I actually have a small YouTube channel where literally all I do on it, for the most part, is make content about real-time strategy games. But I feel like I need people to buy the new Dawn of War 4. And then I need to decide if it's good. I need to know if there's a 1 versus 1 ladder as well. Because that's what I like to do in RTS games. I want to get onto ladder, I want to play other people. Hello Marius, good evening. Why are the wings upside down? Because these guys don't actually come with wings. These are Sanguinary Guard wings, and there is no space between, there would be no space between their jump packs and the shoulder pads to put the wings in, right? Like, there is literally no space. So this is just a bit of a crazy conversion where I just decided that these guys are going to have some Sanguinary Guard wings to make them a bit visually distinct. And yeah, in hindsight, maybe I could have stuck them on better, or I could have cut them, but I didn't, so this is what we've got, I guess. Upside down Sanguinary Guard wings on a squad of Inceptors. Not my finest work, but are they unique? Yes, and unique is probably the that's probably the overriding theme for my army, is unique. I don't really copy paint guides. I just paint what I'm feeling at the moment, or whatever, in terms of like the colors of models and stuff mainly. So yeah, the wings are indeed on upside down. Good spot. You've got a good eye. But that's just how I've done them, and I guess that's how they're staying, because I'm not changing it now. I did think after I'd done it, I was like, maybe I could have done something better with them, but hey. I mean, I think they look cool enough. I mean, I am the guy that put a Primaris helmet on a Terminator, right? Like, people got so upset about that. So now, you know, if that wasn't enough, I've done upside down wings on the Sanguinary Guard. Who knows what it'll be next? Next I'll have a demon head on a Space Marine or something, right? How do I feel about adding a Night Lancer to my Blood Angels list? I added a Knight a few weeks ago, man. I think if you want to add a Knight, I don't think it's a bad option, right? Like, I really don't think it's a bad idea if you want to add a Knight. I mean, they are good. They usually fill some sort of niche that your army won't be able to fill. They usually have some sort of like, doesn't really matter if it's a Lancer or not, right? Every Knight has a pretty deadly type weapon, you know? So like, whichever way you end up going, even if you went for like an Atropos or a Castellan, like every Knight, or even Canis Rex, right? They all have some sort of pretty deadly weapon that you're not going to get in Space Marines. I guess the question is it worth 400 points? And it doesn't benefit from any of your faction rules or your Oath of the Moment or stuff like that. So, I mean, there is a negative to it. But I mean, I've gone to GTs before where I've taken 3 armigers, right? So I've run it before. If you think it's strong, if you think it fits a hole for your list, I would say go for it. There's nothing innately wrong with doing it. I mean, there's the allied unit rule for a reason, right? Knights got more expensive today. Yeah, hallelujah, Marius. So did Death Guard. Thank goodness. That only took like... Well, we were at that GT in May with those points costs. So that took 3 months. 3 months of Knights at 60% for them to realise that they're too strong. Like, that should not have taken 3 months. That's my opinion. I think that's way too long. Like, I could have told you in 3 minutes that they were too strong. What variety of gold do I use? Just the Retributor armour. I usually use Retributor armour, and then I usually wash the whole armour with Reichland, Reichland Flesh Shade. You can do Caribur Crimson if you want, but I usually do Flesh Shade, I think. There's probably not that much between those two colours, honestly. Hello Phil, good evening. The Knight Codex is delayed again. Did they say why? We'll be at the end of the edition and everybody won't even have their codex, man. Because... Sorry, who was the last... Death Guard were the last codex, were they? Or Thousand... No, Thousand Suns, surely. Feels like a hot minute since Thousand Suns has been out, though. Well, emergency data slates go both ways, right? Like, emergency data slates do fix imbalances. I guess the question is, why was that imbalance there in the first place? Like... I think every competitive player, when they looked at those new Knight costs, went, oh yeah, that's going to be a problem. Like, in terms of the meta, right? Like, I don't remember anyone looking at those new Knight points and going, they look totally balanced and they'll be fine. Because that does sometimes happen, right? Like, you do sometimes get an army codex come out and you go like, yeah, looks okay, you know? Isn't Votan most recent? Oh yeah, Votan's just out, isn't it? Andrew was saying that he's getting his... Andrew's ordered some of the new Votan and he was asking if I can play him on the channel, and I was like, oh yeah, I'd love to get the new Votan on the channel, Andrew. So I think we'll get Death Guard on next Wednesday because I've already arranged that. But hopefully that means like maybe 2 weeks from now, 2 weeks tonight, we'll get Votan on. With the new units and the new models. And if you remember, Andrew, because I said to him, I don't mind if you want to bring some of the models grey onto the stream, and Andrew was like, well, I'm painting them that luminous green colour anyway. And I was like, oh yeah, you're literally painting them bright green, aren't you? He was like, yep. And I was like, alright, well, if you get even, you know, better if they're painted, but you can bring them onto the channel if they're unpainted, because I don't want to wait to bring on new models just because they're unpainted. I'd rather play against them and figure them out so that when I go to a tournament and I play against them, I know what the hell they're doing. I hate playing at a tournament when the enemy's got a unit you've never played against, because it's just like a real... it's a real moment where, like, you've got no basis on what to expect, and that can just basically hurt you because you're like, I don't know what this unit can do, and I've never seen it fight, and... Yeah, I don't like... I would rather play against them when they're grey and learn against them than come up against them the first time at a tournament and have no idea what they do. I have actually sort of lost count this edition, how many codexes we still have to come. I mean, I'm looking forward to the 11th edition, but I also know, or at least the rumours I've heard say it's not like a whole brand new edition. It's kind of like 10.5. Which might be good, I guess. It'll be hard to, I suppose we won't know till we see it, right? But yeah, I think there's going to be less sweeping changes for the new edition, maybe. Hello, Highland Phoenix. You're welcome to have another game on the channel whenever you want, Marius. You know that. It gets boring beating Andrew and Colin every week anyway when they're playing non-broken armies, you know? It's alright, they don't watch my stream. Well, Colin does sometimes. Complaints about Horus Heresy 3.0 aside, it's nice to have all your rules as the edition starts. That is very true. Or at least a good chunk of them, right? I actually think 40k would be in a better state if we got, you know, like if we got all the codexes at the start of the edition as opposed to having to wait like multiple years, because then you would get the longest amount of time with the game balanced. You know, like if they released 11th edition and everybody already had their codex, then it would be like, alright, we've got 3 years of the game being somewhat balanced. Whereas like with each new release, I mean, Death Guard and Knights are a good example. Like the last 3 months have been hell. Because you got 2 armies that are just drastically overpowered, just winning events left, right and centre, and nothing's changing about it. Oh yeah, I made coffee, I forgot. I need my coffee. I don't understand why GW waits so long to release codexes. Because it creates hype every 2 months, every 3 months, right? And spoiler, GW actually doesn't want you to only collect one army, like I do. Or, I guess now I collect Ultramarines, Black Templars, Blood Angels, and I think it probably won't be too long before I buy my first Dark Angels model. But yeah, GW doesn't want you to just collect one army, right? And then wait, like, you know, so like the Blood Angels release was a year ago, so I bought the new Blood Angels box, whatever that was, you know, the Death Company box with like 20 odd models in it. I think that's the last thing I bought. Oh no, right, yeah, so that's the last thing I bought for Blood Angels. Since then I've bought Marneus Calgar and I've bought Guilliman. But I haven't actually bought any Blood Angels in a year, right? And you see, that's the problem, right? Like, Games Workshop don't actually want us to be players that only play one army, because you buy your army box and then you don't buy anything again for 3 years. It's not really what they want. They want people that are invested, that will buy stuff constantly. So in a way, releasing new codexes with new exciting units and new exciting units and like new powerful rules will tempt some people to buy more. And I mean, when I was new at the hobby and I had no concept of like how long it would take me to get 2,000 points ready for any given army, yeah, I might buy stuff that I'm never going to get to, because I'd be like, oh, that's cool, you know. Like, did you ever play Necromunda, for example? Did you ever buy a gang of Necromundas? But did you ever buy a gang that you never ever got to? Because I've got 2 gangs in Necromunda. But like, I definitely know people that have been like, I like this gang, buy the gang, never do anything with it. It sits in a box. In fact, my first gang has been in a box. I stripped them all of paint years ago, and a lot of them have been in the box since. So like, you know, like, that's what they want, really, is they want people to buy models throughout the edition, all the way through the 3 years. And people like us that sit, well, people like me that sit on one army isn't ideal. Because yes, they get sales from me at the start of the edition. You know, when there's new Space Marine stuff, they get sales from the new Blood Angel stuff. And then for the rest of the time, they get intermittent sales at best because I already got everything that I'm using. But yeah, I feel like when you're newer, you know, you see a new model, like let's say a new Votan or something, you're like, oh, cool, that's, you know, that model looks cool, the rules look cool, I could do a Votan army, you know? So that's why there's big breaks, and that's why the codex is released all the way through the edition. It's like a marketing thing. But like, in terms of the game being more competitive, would it be more competitive if we just had all the rules straight away? Yeah, probably. But it doesn't build, like, there's no hype there, right? Like, am I wrong? I would have a second army if Space Marines weren't so hard to keep up with. There you go, then. Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, if I didn't have a family and kids and a full-time... Do you know what? The family and kids are probably not the problem. It's the full-time job. If I didn't have a full-time job, I'd probably do another army, yeah. That's what eats the most time in any given week, right? I really wanted the Space Hulk style game to take off. You mean boarding actions? They did do a dedicated rulebook for boarding actions this edition. You know that, right? So there is, like, if you were enjoying boarding actions in the previous edition and you bought the train and stuff, you can buy the dedicated rulebook now. You don't need to buy like the 5 books that had all the lore in them. You can just buy the boarding actions book now. I didn't buy it, but I know someone at work did. I've never been drunk enough to buy Votan. Yeah. I actually had a friend one time that bought a car online when they were drunk. I think, you know, that could be equated to buying a new army, right? Like, I think he bought a new car. I think it was even from like an American website when he was drunk. Because he was like, 1, I've bought this car when I'm drunk. 2, I don't know how I'm going to ship it over here to the UK. I was like, dude, why are you even on the internet when you're drunk? Just go to bed like everybody else. You know? If codexes were cheaper, I would collect more minis. Codexes have sort of got a bit silly these days. What are they, like $40 now? I mean, they used to be like 10, I think. A few people actually commented on the video I put out last night. They were like, it's wild that you don't pay for the GW app. I was like, but I only play one army and I only make one army list at a time, so why would I... What's the app giving me? Like, if it gave me all the rules for all the factions, yeah, I'd pay for it, probably. But it doesn't give you like, the factions that you don't own are locked. It's really bad, actually. You go to a tournament, right? Your next tournament game, you're playing against Necrons. Right before the game, you're like, I wonder... You know, I haven't played against Necrons in like 2 years. Let me go check their profiles for such and such a weapon real quick or something. No, it's locked. You're not allowed to see it. I'd pay a subscription probably to get that removed. But if it's locked anyway and I've got to buy the £40 book or whatnot, I'm not subscribing. Hello, Mephast. Hello. I don't think I pronounced your name well. Boarding actions is boring this edition, says Kevin. Why is that? I played it like one time. I thought it was pretty fun. Maybe because I've only played it once, I didn't find out it was boring. I only model for disadvantage Highland Phoenix. It's because I'm so good at the game that I have to give my opponents a chance, you know? So I make sure that every model of mine has extra big wings on it or is on a big tall flight stand, so it's a little bit easier for my opponent to shoot me. If you're not doing that, are you even doing 40k right? You know, like the rule of cool. Is that not what it's all about? The detachments constrain the armies now? That's a shame, because I liked boarding actions. I think detachments have been an okay addition to the game, right? But I think Space Marine detachments have been a bit confused because of like everyone just getting Oath of Moment all the time has probably meant like some of the detachment rules are weaker than they should be. I think Black Templars is showing that this is the first time they're sort of trying to step away from that a little bit, maybe. Turkey was saying that he thinks Black Templars are going to be very strong. I haven't played against new Black Templars yet, so and I just got like a friend lent me the codex, so I've got that to look at. Maybe I'll do a video on the Grot's channel or something about Black Templars. If someone can see your wings behind cover, would you allow to shoot them? Well, here's the thing, that all the cover these days, Highland Phoenix, is like infinitely high anyway, right? So I don't think it would really matter. But yeah, I mean, if my opponent can see the wing and it's sticking out from the cover they're in, then yes, I guess I would allow them to shoot them. But yeah, I mean, I guess... I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure everything that I make, in some sense, is... Yeah, okay, good point. Really good point. I won the GT last summer with Dante in my list, yes? My Dante has wings on him. So I went to a tournament, a GT, with a Dante who is modelled for disadvantage because he has the Sanguinor's wings attached to him, which definitely makes him bigger, makes him harder to hide as well because the wings are just obnoxious, you know, when you're trying to put him in a corner. And he won a GT. So you can model for disadvantage and win a GT. There you go. Need a little bit of luck. I honestly think you need a little bit of luck to win any tournament. Andrew was just telling me the tournament that he won. So Andrew won an RTT this weekend, or like just this Saturday past, with knights, right? He said his main knight took 12 damage. He had yeah, it took 12 damage, he said. He had 7 wounds left. And he just 6-up Feel No Pain. And he said that he kept it alive. He rolled 6 sixes from 12 dice for his Feel No Pain. I thought, no one else except fucking Andrew can do that, honestly. What a guy. He said that his opponent almost rage quit at the top table right then. He said he was like so angry. I was like, you've seen Andrew. I said to Andrew when he told me that, I was like, see, when I play against you, Andrew, you either, like, my games against Andrew go one of two ways, right? Andrew either makes every fucking save for the entire night, or he doesn't make a single save. Like, there is no in between with him. Like, I've played games where, like, I swear I've played a game on the channel where we're like on turn 3, and I'm like, Andrew, can you please roll a saving throw? And he's like, yeah, tonight's not my night. And I was like, yeah, you haven't rolled a single saving throw and it's like bottom of turn 3. But then I have played other games against Andrew where he just saves and saves and saves and saves. So he just got that at the top table of the tournament. And I said to him, like, you do need a bit of luck. Like, when I won the GT, I needed to make like 9 4-up saves with Dante in a row. Like, it wasn't a formality. It wasn't like John's done great play and won the GT. No, it was like, you've got a shitload of saves to make on Dante, and if he dies, you're probably going to lose the game. I don't think I've ever saved 9 4-ups on a character before, and I don't think I'll ever do it again. The tournament I was just at, actually, my opponent had to make 11 3-up saves. And I was like, you know, like when you roll the thing and it's like, alright, you've got to make 11 3-up saves. I was like, cool, you've got 1 wound left, you're definitely dead, let me move on. And they, you know, they passed all 11 3-up saves, and I was like, ugh. So later in the game, when I was rolling to save Gilliman and I needed to make a bunch of 3-up saves, I was like, do you want to roll the dice? Because I know that with my Gilliman, I never make that many 3-up saves. So, I mean, we got to remember sometimes we're playing a dice game, right? I just ran Inheritors into Wrath of the Rock. How did you find Wrath of the Rock? Because I thought it seemed crazy strong. Like, I really liked its durability. Like, I couldn't believe how strong I felt it. Like, it just felt really strong. You got the craziest roll ever seen. 17 feel no pains out of 18 against the Lion. That's pretty nice. Yeah, an entire game can be won or lost on a single 1 or a 6. Yeah, you're right. Kevin says at some point you just got to enjoy hobbying and not worry about modelling for advantage. Well, it's disadvantage. I'm not modelling for advantage, Kevin. I'm modelling for disadvantage. I'm sticking hulking great wings on everybody. But yeah, at some point I do think you just need to enjoy. It's your hobby. Do whatever the hell you like. I'm sure these guys are going to host some Death Guard next week. But yeah, I filmed a video last night about the Wrath of the Rock detachment. So that'll probably come out like next week. Like I said the other night, I'm trying to make a little bit more content than normal. I'm trying to, especially at the end of the edition, I'm trying to branch a little bit, and like I'm trying to do some other factions. So I had this game against Dark Angels, which was a real eye-opener for me. So I'm trying to, I've made a video. I need to edit it and get it uploaded. But next week there'll be a video about Dark Angels on the channel. I've obviously done a few games with Ultramarines and a few videos about them now. I might do a video on Black Templars. I need to look at the Codex first. So maybe if the Grots are up for it, we'll do like a live stream looking at the Codex, and then maybe I'll make a video. But yeah, I'm trying to do an extra video every week if I've got time. It's not always possible, and sometimes I need inspiration or I need, you know. So I'm trying to do a little bit more content than normal. And I'm trying to branch out a little bit as well. So like still primarily obviously Blood Angels every Friday, but if I'm doing another video, I might branch a little bit and look at some of the things that I'm playing against, or some of the things that I need to be aware of. So yeah, the 15 captain mean list before the end of the edition. I like the idea of that 15 captain list. I think it would be stupid and I think it would be fun. And I think because it's the end of the edition, I'm very much on the I like fun. You know, like one of the reasons I took Stormlance with a Storm Raven to the tournament was because I felt like it was really fun. So yeah, I've not ruled out running 15 captains. I would like to have a... Well, I was going to say, I'm going to play this game next week against the Death Guard with the Angelic Inheritors list I built. If I beat that, and then if I beat Votan the week after, then maybe I can put that aside for a week and be like, right, that's going to sort of be the template for the new list I'm trying to build, Angelic Inheritors wise. And maybe I'll run the 15 captains one week for like a laugh, and then I'll push harder on... Like, I kind of know my next GT is going to be January. Have you seen the conversions that people are doing with the Saturnite Dreadnoughts into Grey Knight Dreadnoughts? I have not. Is this are you making are you telling me about your excuse, Marius, to buy the Horus Heresy 3.0 box set? Because I don't think you need an excuse. You can't just buy it if you want to buy it, right? Or are you trying to make an excuse to buy it? You're like, it's going to make me a Grey Knight Dreadnought, so that's why I'm buying it. How much is the Horus Heresy box set? Because I did actually think those Dreadnoughts look super dope. I like the characters as well. Like, you could definitely proxy one of those characters as like a Gravis captain, right? Pretty cool. I think they look pretty cool. "15 captain versus Orc Gretchen." Yeah, I played against Azrael with the 10 Stern Guard and 3 squads of Deathwing Knights, and I found it horrifically difficult to deal with. So that's why I'm making. That's why I've kicked out a video about it. The video will be out next week. So if you play against Wrath of the Rock, you won't be quite as clueless as I was when I played against it, because Inner Circle Companions are really, really strong as well, by the way. I was actually really impressed with the Inner Circle Companions. My opponent put them with the Judasar, and then gave the Judasar the enhancement that meant, like, let me get this right. So the Judasar goes to, like, Strength 9, AP 3, Flat 3, Fight First, re-rolling a bunch, or I think it's +1 to hit against characters, and then some other rule, yeah, bonkers. Find out more captains in your new list. So here, if you didn't watch the video I put out last night, I've been playing Angelic Inheritors now, apart from like a 1 month break, because I basically took, maybe it was slightly more than a month, but it was somewhere in the region. I took like a month break to go play Stormlance. I played 10 games with Stormlance, 5 at GT and 5 like practice games. I usually play 1 game a week, so maybe it wasn't quite a month, maybe it was like 5 weeks. So I took a 5-week break from playing Angelic Inheritors, right? And what I did before I took the break, every single list I did of Angelic Inheritors had 3 squads of Sangre Guard and, like, you know, 2 captains in Dante. And I think quite a few of the Angelic Inheritors lists as well had another foot captain, because Colin and that kept making fun of me having like 3 captains. But like, while I did like that, I feel like I kept getting stuck in terms of like actually winning games. You know, like I like on paper it felt strong. When I lined it up to go to play at the tournaments, I felt like it was pretty strong. But then when I actually boiled down to it and like, am I winning games? Am I doing well in tournaments? I think my answer was no. Like, I'm doing average in tournaments with it. And I think I was doing average for long enough where, like, I just accepted, like, this is kind of what Angelic Inheritors does for me, and it kind of does average, and I'm not going to, I'm not going to challenge that. I'm just going to accept it, right? Like, I do pretty average with Angelic Inheritors. I'll do it, like, 3 and 2 at a tournament, and it'll be fine. And then I went and played Ultramarines and got sort of a new perspective on things, and my Ultramarines list was wacky as all hell. I mean, it was purposely wacky as all hell. It was a list that was designed just to kill shit. I didn't put, like, I put a little bit of thought into trying to do some scoring, but like not too much, right? It was just like, there's a couple of Tech Marines that could score points, there's a Lone Operative that could score points, there's some Scouts there that could score points, but for the main reason this list is just coming along to kill you. What I'll do is I'll try and kill you all first, and then I'll try and score points afterwards. That was sort of the thought behind the Ultramarines list. Like, just kill everything on the board, and then if I'm still alive after I've killed everything, I'll do some scoring. But yeah, it really made me, like, just think about a few things, and one of the things that I keep thinking about is, like, I genuinely don't like the survivability of Sangre Guard, right? Like, I'd say they are survivable in melee, but then you come into some melee where they aren't survivable at all, right? Like Bloodthirsters, they'll just murderize Sangre Guard. Mortarion, ignore all modifiers, murderize Sangre Guard. I'm sure there's plenty other units that can just murderize the Sangre Guard, even with their -1 to hit, -1 to wound. But I kept doing it. I kept taking 3 squads. I kept starting every list with like 3 captains and 3 squads of Sangre Guard. And I kept not challenging that in my head, like, just that's how you should start. Which is fine, I guess. Like, I still think it's kind of fine, like, it's kind of strong. But I got to a point where, like, I'm just thinking, like, I keep doing the same thing, and I keep getting stuck, and I keep not winning events, and I keep going 3-2. So why don't I just change things up? So that's where my... And I like impulsors, and I think Space Marines really struggle with lack of invuln saves, right? Like, that's just something that we do not have. I mean, I think that's why I like Company Heroes a lot, because Company Heroes seem to be a Space Marine unit that are really durable. And I think durability is something that I like, and I don't often... Like, I seem to do better if my lists have durability in them. So we're only going to run two squads of Sangre Guard, a 6 and a 3. And we're only going to run 2 captains. A very long-winded explanation for why I only have 2 captains. But, like... It really made me think of, like, the Einstein quote, where he's like, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, right? And that's kind of where I felt where I'm at with Inheritors, where it's like... Well, I got so frustrated with them, I stopped playing them, and I'm trying to figure out why they're not performing the way I want them to perform. Maybe that list just... Maybe the 3 squads of Sangre Guard and the captain and the impulsor obviously just doesn't work for me. So I got to change things up. Have I tried a list? I mean, you can run a list with 20 captains. No, I have not tried it. I'm trying a list with a crap load of plasma guns in it now. Hence, I'm painting plasma guns. Because I never, before I played Ultramarines, I never played plasma guns. Didn't really like them. Didn't really play them. It's very cheap now. Saturnine flopped hard. Really? How cheap? I mean, my Ultramarines were literally Red Blood Angels. I had Tigris half painted, but I was painting him in a Blood Angels color scheme. I had Guilliman half painted in a Blood Angels color scheme, and all the rest of the models were just my Blood Angels, right? It took me like an entire paint session to paint one of Guilliman's legs, because there's so much fucking trim on that model. And once I was like halfway through, I realised that, like, oh my god, I'm going to have to paint a second coat on the trim because the paint I'm using isn't colouring the gold to a bright enough colour. So I really sort of wish that I'd just dry brushed the whole of Guilliman. But yeah, no, so I hardly painted anything that was actually Ultramarines. Well, I mean, I painted half of Tigris, and I painted half of Guilliman. I mean, they're battle ready for sure. Like, they both have way more than 3 colours on them, but like none of them are finished. I'm done with Ultramarines for a little while. I'll probably get back to them like next edition again. I don't mind them. I think the double oath thing is really strong. I actually really quite enjoy playing Stormlance. I think Stormlance could be a competitive detachment if you stick with it and you really think about it. The reactive move is very strong. The advance and charge on everybody is also very strong. I really like Hellblasters in that detachment. I really like Sternguard in that detachment. I can't say I recommend the Storm Ravens though. Did you ever build Kalgar? No, I haven't taken him out of his box yet. But, I mean, I've got him now, and I want to convert his 2 Victrix Guard into 2 more Blade Guard, because I've got a really weird number of Blade Guard. I think I've got 10 Blade Guard. Because I got some easy-to-build versions of the Lieutenant with the magazines and stuff. So I'm gonna convert his 2 Victrix Guard into Blade Guard, and then if I ever do play Kalgar, they can be his Victrix Guard, or they can double up his Blade Guard, and... yeah, I mean, it's fine. I don't think Kalgar will get a new model anytime soon because the model that he's got is a Primaris one, right? It didn't come out too long ago. Converting the guard is a bit of a pain. Yeah, I'll figure it out, man. If nothing else as well, I like the headpieces, or sorry, the helmets that the Victrix Guard have. So I might not even put those on the Victrix Guard, I might just take those helmets. Because Colin actually gave me one of those helmets at one point for like a Smash Captain. With like the... And I made it like a golden beak, and I thought it's really cool. Thinking about adding a Land Raider Redeemer, what would you have inside? Centurions are good in a Land Raider. Aggressors, maybe? I mean, Dante and Chums are not the worst in a Land Raider, or maybe 2 squads of Blade Guard. I mean, if we're talking about things that are doing very well in the meta right now, it's Blade Guard, so you could have... I think a Redeemer has a capacity of like 14. 2 squads of 6 Blade Guard, both led by Chaplains. Or Judicars, doesn't really... Or even Captains, I mean, you pick. They all have advantages and disadvantages. But yeah, you could definitely put 12 Blade Guard inside Land Raider. Evening JT, how you doing? I swear every fucking stream that guy with his bot comes along. Cheap viewers on Streambo. Fuck off. Why would you even pay to have people watch you? It doesn't make any sense. It's like those people that phone you up every day asking you if you've been in a car accident. I honestly get phoned like every single week. Hi, Mr. Stewart. We've got on record you've been in a car accident. One of these times I should just keep them on the phone for like half an hour and be like, oh yeah, I was in this car accident. I've really hurt myself. And then like half an hour into the call, just hang the fuck up and be like, there you go. You waste my time every single week. Now I've wasted yours. But yeah, they honestly phone me every week. I'm like, I don't even know, like, originally I was annoyed, I was like, someone's selling my data, but I don't even think someone's selling my data. I think they're just cold calling and hoping that people have been in car accidents. Like, no, I haven't been in a car accident. Just watch out for exploding Land Raiders. Oh yeah, do watch out for exploding Land Raiders, because they can win you or lose you games, apparently. Like last week, Marius lost the game when his Land Raider did 14 mortal wounds. I really think that would have been a much closer game. I'm really upset. I'm actually upset it exploded and did 14 mortal wounds, because I would have liked to see how that game would have panned out without the 14 mortal wounds, honestly. I'm sorry for overkilling your Land Raider so hard, Marius. I had a little fun with 5 Impulsors and 3x6 Blade Guard, parking lot control of the board. Yeah, I mean, you could do that as well, right? So if you're running 5 Impulsors and you've got 3 of them full of Blade Guard, what are in the other 2? Assault Intercessors? Or Company Hero? Yeah, like, genuinely, what is your other, what is your other Impulsors, not transport, contents? Like, what is the other Impulsor transporting, excuse me? Guys, if we get 2 seconds tonight, we got 50 people in the live chat, we got 17 likes. It does always help so much. In terms of, yeah, I mean, it helps me out a great deal if you could consider pressing the like button at some point during the stream. I mean, if 50 people are here, I feel like we could get 50 likes. Or you could press dislike because you're an anarchist and you want to see the world burn. It won't matter though, because even if the world does burn, AI is going to take over, and then whatever us humans do will be inconsequential, right? It is worrying how fast AI is developing, isn't it? That's a topic for another day. Eric says, hello, I'm brand new to the hobby. Any advice for a beginner? Yes. I mean, that's such an open-ended question, Eric. Welcome to the hobby. Are you collecting blood angels? Because if you're not, you probably clicked on the wrong channel, honestly. But yeah, I can give you no end of advice, and you can choose whether or not to listen to it. Have you got any models? Start small. Yeah, there you go. Start small. Do not go out into the Games Workshop store and spend $200 and then come home and have this giant pile of plastic and you have no idea where to go with it because it's giant and daunting. And I think a lot of people do that, right? Like, a lot of people get started, they get $100 together, they go into the store and they just buy like 4 boxes of shit, and they come home and then they're like, holy shit, this is going to be a lot. And also, if you are just starting, I would really pick a paint scheme. Like, Tony always preaches this, and I kind of want to do Grey Knights. Cool. Marius is doing Grey Knights right now. Tony always preaches this, and I don't listen to Tony, but Tony is very right about things at times. And Tony recommends that when you're starting any army, you should do a test model. One model. Like, don't get the whole unit built and try and batch paint it. The thing is, if you're starting, you can usually walk into the Games Workshop store and tell them you're new, and say, is there a model I can get to practice with? And they will usually give you like a model of the month type deal, and you'll get that for free if you go to Games Workshop store. And they rotate the free model like every month, but they're usually pretty good at giving you a free model to get you started. But yeah, Tony says, like, do a test model and figure out like your scheme and how long that is going to take you, and write it down. Like, for example, like I've been painting the same way for forever, and I spend hours on one model. Like an infantryman, like a basic infantryman, I'll spend like 7-8 hours on them. So like, for me to get an army ready, it takes fucking ages. But I mean, I'm quite dedicated, obviously, and I'm showing up every week to paint. But like, I would not recommend you start like that, because when I started like that, it took me months before I could put my army on the table. So like, I would recommend that you start with a scheme where you can turn a model around in an hour. So if you buy a box of 10 guys, you can turn that around in 10 hours as opposed to 80 hours, which is probably more realistic for me. Because if you don't have anything done, 80 hours to get 10 guys on, and 10 guys is a very small amount of guys, right? You need like 100 for an army, potentially. If you're playing Grey Knights, you're probably going to have like 30 Terminators, 2 or 3 Dread Knights, and then a bunch of characters. So you're probably going to be in the region of 30 or 40 models. So you definitely don't want to be 8 to 10 hours per model, because that's 450 models. Even if you hobby 4 hours a week, every week, that's 100 weeks. So it's going to take you 2 years before you can realistically put a fully painted force on the table. So I don't know. Maybe 4 hours I don't really paint more than 4 hours a week, but I've got family and kids and a YouTube channel and a job, right? But yeah, I mean, like, realistically, Eric, that's what you need to think about. Because that's why I think people churn out of the hobby, is they buy too much stuff, or they. And also, here's another thing: perfection is the enemy of good. Or sorry, perfection is the enemy of finished. Right? Like, none of my models are perfect. But you have to like, when you're playing a game of 40k, you know, like, the models are on the table. You're usually standing up 30 or 40 inches away from the model. You know, like if I put, like, these guys for me are not even like, they're not even like a third done, right? But if I put that guy on the table and I'm standing a meter away from him, he looks pretty cool, right? So like, figure out something that gets you started and gets you finished and gets you on the table. I think that's the trick. Easier said than done, but that's the advice you need as a new player. Just combat patrols, yeah, great way to start. Have you tried dreadnoughts or speeders in Angelic Inheritors? Seems like that would add some power to soften up before the knife. I do have a storm speeder, and I have sort of considered it in Angelic Inheritors. I think the storm speeder is an okay model. I like the one that gives you +1 to wound. I think that's pretty cool actually, +1 to wound. So would I try a storm speeder in Angelic Inheritors? Probably. Trying to decide what colour I'm doing next. I suppose I could do inside of the jump jets. That's an option. I could also do those little blue bits. Yeah, let's do those little blue bits. Grey Knights would be one of the easiest schemes to pull off. Null Oil and dry brushing all the way. Yeah, you could do dry brushing is a good technique to learn as well. Perfection is the enemy of finish. No truer words have ever been spoken. It's a hard lesson for every wargamer to learn. There we go. Says Boris. Yeah, perfection is the enemy of finished, or like, I think in the early days when I was making YouTube content, I would try really hard to make it perfect. But now I think for me anyway, I just try and make it good and get more content done. Chris says my army is going to be 29 models. I couldn't tell you what my current army is. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a good thing to have, a good aim to have is like a certain number of models and also a good test scheme. Mega says, good afternoon, Texas. From Texas. Oh, Commandant. Isn't like Commandant like a... What's your opinion on Land Raiders? Seems like it'd be useful in heavy shooting, especially in a charge detachment. Land Raiders are good. Like, they have a good number of las cannons, they get units forward, they get you the charge, but I think if Land Raiders are a 4-up invuln save, I'd probably be quite pro Land Raiders, but the fact that there's a lot of enemies that have a lot of AP these days, and Land Raiders do not have an invuln save. I think that is sort of their biggest weakness. And I think it's a lot, Land Raiders are a lot of points for no invuln save. So I think based on that, it makes me... It's hard for me to recommend a Land Raider, but let me just play devil's advocate. The very last tournament I went to, I ran a Land Raider. Right? And have I ran a Land Raider to a tournament before? Yeah, 100%. So you can run Land Raiders. You don't have to... You could get too focused on the negatives, which there are some. I mean, the main thing is the lack of invuln save. And also it's fucking hard to hide because it's so big. But if you can get round, like if you can... And also sometimes it can be hard to maneuver around some of the new terrain sets. But if you get over some of those features, like a Land Raider can be a very useful piece. But yeah, it definitely has counters. Like in one of the games I was playing against Eldar, that Fugan character just like walked over and just blew up my Land Raider from like full health without even trying. So Land Raiders do indeed have pretty strong counters. And they are quite expensive. But it doesn't mean you don't have to take them, right? Like I kind of always touch on it that like every unit has something that will counter it, right? Hello, Zach. I'm wondering if Ballistus Dreadnoughts are still good. I don't have any of the tanks with tread, so I'm looking at a good option for the Primaris range. Yeah, I think Ballistus Dreadnoughts are fine, man. I just played against a list at a tournament like 2 weeks ago, and the guy had double Ballistus Dreadnought and he beat me. So yeah, I think they're fine. Maybe they're not quite as popular as they were when they were 130 points, but I think they're still fine. Good evening, CFT3D, how are you? Everybody's hanging out tonight. So yeah, so obviously there's no live game tonight, because I'm just here chilling in my house. But I will be in the studio next week, and we will be playing the new Death Guard with their points drops that came out today, hallelujah. So you got that to look forward to next week, and hopefully the week after that it will be the new Votann. So a couple of exciting games coming up on the channel in the next couple of weeks. But I didn't know the new points drops were happening today. Not that that made much difference, but yeah, the guys that I normally play against were all at a tournament this weekend, and sometimes when everybody's been at a tournament this weekend, it's hard for me to find a match the week after, just because if people have played 40k all weekend, then they don't want to come and stream 40k. So yeah, you know, sometimes I just can't get a game on a Wednesday night. I did try and get a game with a few of the guys, but no, everybody else was at a tournament this weekend. I didn't have it. It was just an RTT, but we'll get a game next week. Inside the Land Raider is 10 Assault Intercessors with a Rage Captain and the speed of... I don't rate the speed of the Primarch on the Assault Intercessors, by the way. I just don't think they have enough... Like, I think speed of the Primarch should really be used on a character or a squad that has more than Strength 4. Because without your charge bonus, Strength 4, in my opinion, is pretty underwhelming. Like, you'll mostly be wounding on 5s. Yes, maybe you get some rerolls to hit here, rerolls to wound here or there, but yeah, I mean, I can't imagine your wound rolls will be all that much better than 5s. What paintbrushes are good? Are you in the UK or where are you located? Chris? Or Chrissa? Speed of the Primarch with aggressors? I mean, that's cool. Twin-linked aggressors are pretty nice. I was playing a lot of twin-linked at Power Fist aggressors when Gladius was really strong. Yeah, I think Speed of the Primarch is best on, like, it could be good on Sangre Guard, it could be good on aggressors, it could be good on Terminators, could be good on Blade Guard to a certain extent. But yeah, Assault Intercessors is just not the right unit for it, in my opinion. They're low EP as well. USA, alright, someone in chat from the USA recommend where Chrissa can get a brush, please, a good brush. I can't really help you here in the USA because I buy my brushes from the UK, but someone in chat will help you. If not, we do have a Blood Angels Commander Discord server. Someone will definitely help you in the Discord server as well. Oh, me. Excuse me. I drunk all my coffee, didn't I? Yeah, I'm trying to limit myself to 3 cups of coffee a day. We used to have a coffee pot in the office that just had like hot coffee on it all day, every day. You know, so it's like you don't even have to make the cup of coffee. You just had to walk over to the coffee pot and pour the coffee into your cup. And I think what happened with that was like basically just stopped drinking water and just started drinking coffee all the time, to a point where like on the weekend I was getting these crazy migraines. And I was like, why do I have such an insane migraine every weekend? And then I think the answer was because you drink about 12 cups of coffee a day on the damn coffee machine during the week, and then on the weekend you don't drink any coffee, or you drink like 1 cup and then you have an insane migraine. So I basically just decided to like limit myself to like a cup of coffee in the morning, a cup of coffee at lunch, and then 1 in the evening. And like all my migraines have pretty much gone away from that. It does sometimes mean that I feel a little bit more tired than maybe I normally would. I guess when you're having 12 cups of coffee every day, you don't feel that tired. What stores do you guys use in the USA? Like, is there a general, like, I know we can use local hobby stores, but is there like any general stores? Have I dropped anything? Not tonight. I have not dropped anything, but there's, you know, that is a normal thing that happens on my stream. Like last week we managed to break one of these wings off the Intercessor. The week well, not the week before, but we definitely broke that captain's fucking axe off him like 3 or 4 times, right? Like I broke that captain's axe so many times that I was like, I am not sticking back on his axe until I'm done painting the rest of this model. I can't become conscious in the mornings without coffee. Yeah, I get that. My wife often tells me that she speaks to me in the morning, but it's like pre-coffee. And I think like if you speak to me before I've had any coffee to drink, like you could literally tell me anything and I'm not going to remember it. Like I'm just on autopilot until the first cup of coffee. It's like I don't know, you know. I swear to me, like sometimes she tells me like, we talked about this in the morning. I was like, we did not. She's like, oh, you useless before coffee. I was like, how dare you? How dare you say something that is true? My cheap espresso machine is dying, and I'm currently trying to top myself out with spending $700 on a nice one. I have like $100 coffee machine, which is still quite a lot of money, I suppose, for a coffee machine. But here's the thing, right? If you buy coffee from a coffee shop these days, dude, it's fucking bonkers. So see, when I was on see when we took the kids to Disneyland last month, a double espresso is $5.50. I mean, that's fucking daylight robbery. I was saying to like, double espresso is just like 100 milliliters of coffee, right? Like there's no milk, there's no sugar, there's no whipped cream, you know, whatever you want to call it. It's like essentially it's like the easiest coffee to make, I would say. An espresso has got to be like, espresso should be the cheapest, right? Because you don't have to put anything else in it. And I was saying to my wife, like, how long before it's $10 for a double espresso? And that's the way the world's going, where it's going to, like, if you're out somewhere and you want a double espresso, it's going to be $10. I mean, I just like espresso because you can drink it quick, man. I mean, it's essentially just black coffee, right? I also hate it when you buy coffee when you're out somewhere and they give you it and it's like the temperature of the sun. You know, it's like, here's a coffee that you can drink in half an hour. No, I'm buying it now to drink it now. I want it at a drinkable temperature now. Like Starbucks, if you go to Starbucks, which I don't go to very often, I think I was at Starbucks in the airport, because obviously I don't have my coffee machine in the airport and we're going on holiday. And I bought like a large coffee, and it was honestly the temperature of the sun. Like it was in one of these Starbucks cups that apparently really holds the heat as well, and this coffee is the temperature of the sun, I ended up having to pour like half of it down the. I must have poured it into the bin or something, and then filled the thing up with water from a bottle of water, because I was just like, I would like to drink this coffee now, as opposed to like in an hour when it's cooled down. Like, God, I hate that. So yeah, I don't buy coffee out. I think it's too expensive. And I think if you're going to buy a coffee machine that you can use hundreds of times for home, then that's what I would do, because coffee is literally daylight robbery these days. Peanut says, I'm so happy I finally get to see you live. Love your content, you're awesome, and those Inceptors are dope. Dude, thank you so much for joining in live. I do appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. I mean, I am live like 3 times every week. It's not like, maybe it's a time zone thing, but no, I am live on typically Wednesdays, Saturdays, Sundays, every week. Wednesday, to be fair, is usually a battle report, but I am live 3 times every week. You can definitely send me coffee beans. But yeah, I think this month I'm gonna try and do this is completely off topic, by the way, but I think this month I'm gonna try and do a fast, like a longer, like I've been doing the, what is it, the 18/6 fast for about a year now, on and off. Like I'll do like 2 months of fasting every day, 18 hours. So I think now this month, because I've got time off work next week. Or sorry, next month. I've got time off work in October. And I think I'm going to try and do... I was going to try and fast for as long as I possibly can fast. So like a minimum, I think 36 hours. Might be able to get to 48. Might be able to get to 72. The thing that I found when you fast 18 hours is that if you fast long enough, you stop getting hungry. Because I think some of the days, I think I've actually, like, I accidentally did like a 21-hour fast because I forgot to eat, because my brain doesn't send the same hunger signals. And if you're fasting, you are still allowed black coffee. So I would drink probably just shitloads of black coffee and no food for 36 or 48 hours maybe. Any thoughts on an 18 Inceptor Angelic Host? You mean the Angelic Host detachment? Nobody plays that Angelic Host detachment, man. I don't know if I think it's... I think I'd rather play the Angelic Inheritors detachment. I'm going to be honest, saying espresso is just black coffee ranks somewhere between Magnus did nothing wrong and Urberus is a cool guy. Okay. Hold on a minute. Espresso is just black coffee, right? Like, it's just stronger. You grind the beans, you put them in the cup with hot water. I mean, that's how you make black coffee. I know that, because I make black coffee every day. How is espresso any different to that, sorry? I've tried fasting plus coffee, it's very brutal on the heart. Well, I'm going to try it. Because the one thing that I've been saying for a while, and it's kind of a joke, is like, in the UK we eat beans on toast. And every time I'm eating beans on toast, I feel to myself that like I should film it for the channel, because nobody understands how important beans on toast is here in the UK. And I figured if I did a 48-hour fast, I would have to video the fast. And I would have to end the video with beans on toast. Dante's just a Space Marine. I mean, that's technically correct. Dante is just a very old Space Marine. He doesn't have anything. Well, he's Primaris now. Right? Did they actually? So hold on a minute. Let's get back onto 40k, because no one really cares about me fasting except me. I care about it. And I'm going to do it, and I think I am going to film it. It's going to be like a battle of wills to see how long I can fast for. But back on 40k, right? You remember in Darkness of the Blood, the book? Hello, Matthew. Good evening. You've joined just at the right time, Matthew, because I'm sure that you know the Blood Angels lore, so you can help me out with this. Darkness of the Blood, the book. There was Dante wanted to go through the Rubicon, but they wouldn't let him because they, like, chapter master and all, they don't want him to die, etc., etc. So basically, in that book, it's been a few years, I think it's almost like 4 or 5 years actually. Mephiston was struggling with something, like maybe he'd like channeled the warp too much or something. There was something that wasn't quite right with Mephiston, I can't remember. I think he was even dying. I'm gonna have to read that book again. But they were like, Dante, you're not allowed to do the Primaris Rubicon thing. Mephiston's going to do it. And then that's the last book that we got, right? Like, we haven't had another book, like a storybook, a novel. I'm so used to reading my kids' storybooks, I forgot the word novel even existed. We haven't had a novel since the Darkness of the Blood, right? So, although Lamartis has gone through the Rubicon, and now Astrath has gone through the Rubicon, and Dante has gone through the Rubicon, we actually don't have any book that talks about this in any way, shape, or form. Or have I missed it? I thought you were going to play test the Avengers Assemble list. So, I'm going to play my new Angelic Inheritors list against Death Guard next week. But I am somewhat tempted still to play that new 20 captain list. I think it would be fun. I do want to do it. I just want to maybe play the new Angelic Inheritors list against Death Guard. Now, Death Guard got nerfed today. I don't know if you've seen the points balance update today. Morning, Hadleys. I love black pour over coffee. Espresso is usually roasted differently. It's ground much finer and extracted at high pressure. It makes it much more finicky / difficult to make. Okay, post-nerf Death Guard. Yeah, we're going to play post-nerf Death Guard next week, and hopefully we're going to kick some butt. Because Death Guard have been kicking my butt since whenever their codex came out in May or something. Like, this balanced data slate is way overdue. Like, it's 3 months overdue, honestly. So, Death Guard, yeah, they'll be on the channel next week with the new points, and we'll see how we get on against that. Alright, so we've established that espresso is not quite just as simple as black coffee, but it is similar, right? It's similar. And Dante's just a Space Marine. I hope we don't get hit with the Nerf Hammer next month. Is our win rate high enough to get us hit with the Nerf Hammer? I don't think we have a 50% win rate. I don't think they typically hit armies that are at 50% with the Nerf Hammer. But maybe? Diatome says that you beat a lag player with Lost Brethren last night. You swear it's not that bad. I mean, you can swear it's not that bad, but when you look at the tournament performance, like I just did a video looking at tournament performance last week, the Angelic Inheritors video, and literally not a single player was playing Lost Brethren. So maybe it's not too bad in casual games, but like no one is playing it competitively. I mean, there's a reason no one's playing it, is because most people don't like it, right? But that's not to say there isn't a list there. I bought a $2,000 espresso machine at Christmas, and then in March was told I can't drink it anymore. Can you still drink decaf? God, everyone's got a better coffee machine than me. I thought I was quite up on the coffee. Apparently not. I could see 3 Sangre Guard maybe go up 5 or 10 points, but not much beyond that. More interested in possibly Marine buff spill over to Blood Angels. Yeah, I mean, Ultramarines with their +1 to wound and their triple Vindicator tanks. There's probably a chance that Ultramarines are going to get the Vindicator tanks nerfed again, right? Because I've seen a few tournaments won by Ultramarine players just triple Vindicator. Probably maybe Stern Guard could take a hit as well. But I don't really know. Blood Angels feel kind of okay right now. I don't know if we feel overly strong and or overly weak. I think we're just probably fine. I would have liked it if they'd done something with the detachments that no one's played, but I think that ship has sailed, unfortunately, because that's our codex been out a year now and they haven't touched those 2 detachments. So I think those detachments are just dead in the water, essentially. If you want one, because mine might be for sale. I don't know if I've got room. How big is it, your coffee machine? Like, our kitchen's full of shit. Like, I don't know if I want more stuff in the kitchen. Do you not find that, like, you move into a house, you've got a nice big kitchen worktop, but you just manage to find... Basically, like, I think I've heard this theory that, like, if you have space anywhere in your house, you will manage to fill it with shit. And then it's really difficult to actually go through that shit and throw it away, because you're like... Lawrence went 3-1 with his Lost Brethren list. Look at you guys kicking ass with Lost Brethren. Good for you. I have not played Lost... I'm not ashamed to admit that I have not played it one time this edition, and I have no intention of playing it. I really think it's garbage. So good for you guys getting some wins with it. Lost Brethren is secretly overcharging plasmas to get below starting strength. I mean, that's a valid tactic, right? I think everybody wants Thunderhammers back on their Death Company. I think Thunderhammers in general should have just maybe stayed at 3 damage this edition. Like, scrap the devastating wounds nonsense, because I don't think it's that impactful, and just they should have maybe just stayed at what they were before. What was it, like -2, 3? Would have been better than -2, 2 dev wounds. So you went 3-1 with the detachment, but you were actually admitting straight up that it's garbage. Well, good for you. I thought it was garbage, and I didn't even risk playing it. But I mean, realistically, I probably should have played it just so I can validate my theory that it's garbage. So maybe I've been a bit lazy there. I just was never excited about it. I think that's something that I need in 40k, right? Like, I need to feel excited about a strategy or a model or a combo or something, right? And if I don't feel excited, then I can't really get the motivation I need to play it or something. How about 4s to hit 1 AP and 3 damage? Yeah, I think it's just the 3 damage that we miss, Marius. Like, I don't really think it would have mattered. Oh, I suppose the AP probably does matter, yeah. As much as I want to say the AP doesn't matter, the AP is somewhat important, yeah. I think if we go back a few editions though, right, they were -3 flat 3, I think in 8th, and then they changed them in 9th to -2 flat 3. I think they were honestly fine at -2 flat 3. I mean, I think the low AP, like the 2 AP, so to speak, which was quote-unquote low AP, like, I think that was the point, right? Like, but then Power Fists are only 2 AP and they're only 2 damage. It might just be like a Codex creep thing. I mean, it probably is just a codex. They were worried about Thunderhammers being too strong at the start of the edition or something, and they just haven't. They just don't want to fix them now. It's too late, I guess. I thought your idea of apothecaries with the Hellblasters and Impulsors. Well, so here's the thing, right? Like, I don't necessarily think that Hellblasters plus Apothecaries and Impulsors are better than the Sangre Guard, right? Like, I don't think they're better. I think they probably do less damage. I think they probably die. I mean, they potentially die faster as well. The issue I think I've got playing 3 units of Sangre Guard and Angelic Inheritors is, like, they always end up having to go into horrible situations. And then they do die, and they do die very, very fast. You know, like, I think when Marius, when we played last week, excuse me, I think Tigerius killed like 6 Sangre Guard by himself in 1 round of shooting. If it wasn't, it was like 5 or 6, right? Like, it was just like Sangre Guard can die so friggin' fast. Like, they'll die to anything, you know. Like, Tigerius is a 75-point model. He really shouldn't be killing 200 plus points of Sangre Guard in one activation of shooting. His unit was dead as well, right? Like, it was just him on his own. Killed like 200 and some points of Sangre Guard. And I keep taking 3 squads of Sangre Guard and Angelic Inheritors, and I keep losing games. So because of that, because although the Sangre Guard are good, they always have to be in harm's way. Right? They always need to be in close. They always need to be up in your opponent's face. So yeah, we could have done Ball Predators, but the thing I don't like about Ball Predators is lack of invuln save, right? So like, you could say, well, we just put Ball Predators on the objectives, and they'll be pretty useful. They got Overwatch, you know, they do good damage like that. But I'm on a plasma kick at the moment. I've fallen in love with plasma guns, at least for a little while. So I'm doing Hellblasters with Inceptors, and I'm going heavy on the plasma, because these guys, at least they can try and stay out of harm's way a little bit, and we can lone operative them potentially in Angelic Inheritors and stuff like that. So that's sort of the thinking behind the plasmas inside the Impulsors, in that, like, I keep trying 3 squads of Sangre Guard and Angelic Inheritors, and I keep losing games. So let me just try something different, even though it's maybe not, it's not as meta, and it's not seen as strong, but I want to do something different. So that's where I'm at with it. Whether it's right or wrong it's probably wrong, but that's what I'm doing. But yeah, I want invulnerable saves, man. Because I was playing against Tau, and they're just like AP3, 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 AP3 everywhere across the board, right? And it's like, if you don't have an invulnerable save, then it's just like, oh great, Space Marine units save on 6s against all this Tau shooting. I've got no chance. At least Impulsors, there's, you know, 5-up invuln isn't the greatest, but sometimes it does spike, right? Like, sometimes you can roll 8 5-ups. You can never roll 8 6s if you're on AP3, that's for sure. We were just talking about some of the spikes earlier in tonight's stream, and I was saying, like, when I won the GT, I had to spike with Dante. Do you run any Death Company units currently? No. I think they're better in Liberator Assault Group. Somebody was running 20 Death Company, actually, and won a tournament with Liberator Assault Group, and that will be my video coming out this Friday. So we'll be looking at that list and discussing it and saying why it's strong and talking about synergies and stuff like that. So I don't run Death Company. Can you run Death Company and be successful? 100%, yeah. Tune in on Friday. I got a video coming out about it. Good luck this weekend with your Liberated Assault group, Matthew. United Wargamer, good evening, good evening. I tried to smoke my Predator against a Tau player and he said don't. I ignore cover and hit modifiers. There you go. Tau do seem to just be able to, like, the spotting mechanic is very strong. It's like, I spot you, you spot me, no cover, +1 ballistic skill. Yeah, I had a pretty rough game against Tau at the tournament I was at, honestly. Again, it comes down to Space Marines have no you know, if you remove cover from all of our vehicles, and then you've got Tau levels of shooting, which is usually like high AP, then we have problems, right? The Tau list I played didn't even have crisis suits in it as well. It was just like broadsides. I think they're called Sky Rays. A bunch of chaff, like Kroot and stuff like that as well. Kroot, stealth suits. A couple of breacher squads inside the fire. Dragons, is it? Fire prisms, excuse me. Yeah, it was a rough list actually. Like I really needed to be able to penetrate into the list, and I just felt like I couldn't. And then long range shooting coming out of Tau on really high AP. I mean, maybe that's one of the reasons that I just feel like I want a couple of impulsors on my list, so I can just park an impulsor on an objective and say, this is my objective. You've got to shoot the impulsor. If you kill the impulsor, I'll spill my guys out on top of the objective. At that point, I can, if you still got more shooting on the table, I can just be like, well, I'm just going to lone operative these guys now, with the Shadow of the Great Angel stratagem. And if they don't have that much more shooting, I'll just let them shoot, and then I'll shoot back with Hellblasters. So it's weird what I'm doing, but I'm just trying it. Quick question, was the change to Black Range actually accomplished, or is it a restarting of the old rule? Black Range at the moment is you reroll hits in melee, and it's only for characters that have the Black Rage. So like the attached characters, let's say Astrath or a Chaplain or a Death Company Captain, if they don't have the Black Rage keywords, then I don't think they're supposed to reroll their hits. Is that what you're asking, Miguel? Oh, hold on, I can hear one of my kids away. Hey. My wife had fallen asleep in my kid's bed, so the kid woke up. It's like upset. Oh well, that's my fault. I should have checked she hadn't fallen asleep with the kid. That happens to me as well sometimes. You know, you go lie down with the kid in the dark room and you're just a little bit tired. You fall asleep. No, almost dropped the model. Must be starting to get a little bit tired. What's the time? It's 10 o'clock. Forgot what I was doing there. Oh yeah, I'm painting the armor joints. Okay. Yeah, I mean, our kids sleep in different rooms though, so like one of the kids woke up, couldn't find anybody because mum had fallen asleep in the other. Are you ever going to come out with other merchandise? Do you know what? I need to chase Brett, because the guy who drew the Mephiston t-shirt graphic, I said to him, we'll do another one, because like the Mephiston one did okay, and I paid him to do another one like before the end of the tax year, actually. So I because if I paid him last year, then I could have, like, because it's a business expense, I can write it off against my profits. So I actually paid him in the last tax year, so that's January, February, March. So I must have paid him before the 5th of April. So I paid him almost 4.5 months ago, but he hasn't done the next design yet. So do you know what? I will send him a message and ask him. I actually had a really, like, I sent him the ideas. Like, this is what I want to do. Like, I made what I wanted with AI and sent it to him and said, like, use this as inspiration. I saw a really cool Blood Angels thing, and I got the AI to make like a version of it. Obviously, like, I don't want to, you know, like, use the AI for the concept art, or the concept art, that's what it's called. So I sent him that, like, I paid him in advance, because if I paid him in advance, I can offset it as my profit for last tax year. So I did that. So I paid him in April, Matthew. So I need to chase him. I mean, I played Brett on the channel just a couple of weeks ago. He was the Thousand Suns player. So he's got my money. He's had it for like 4 months. He just hasn't done the next damn design yet. I think I need to find someone else, right? Like, I knew he was slow. He was slow in the last one, but I mean, I really liked the quality of it. I really thought the Mephiston was cool. But I guess he's slow. Artists, man. You know, I guess because he did such a good job, I wanted to sort of use him again, and thought he could... Because he asked me, he's like, what do you want? I was like, I want a Blood Angels character in the style of, like, the Marvel comic books. You know, like, that's what we were going for, like an old Spider-Man comic book. Mega says, I'm a father of 3 below 5. Well, I got 2, a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, man. And that is a handful. So if you've got 3, good for you, because that is tough. Collab with Grey Tides? I did a collab with Grey Tides. I did a couple of giveaways for Grey Tide bits. If you send me an idea for a Lamartas. If you send me an idea for a Lamenters one in the future, we could do that as well. Like, I've not ruled out doing more merch. The last merch was profitable. It was just difficult to, I guess, to get it done, if that makes sense. Like, if he'd turned that around already, I would have been selling it already, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's not hugely profitable, but I mean, probably must... I feel like we probably got like 30 sales last time. I'll probably get like $5 per sale or something. So it was worth doing. Maybe it was slightly more, because I think it probably did like $150 profit, and had to pay the artist like about $150 as well. I asked a question about Lancers v Ballistas with Thunderstrikes. Yeah, I think I would prefer, if I've got a Thunderstrike as well, I think I prefer Ballistas. Because I think that the missiles with +1 to wound are pretty useful. And I do worry about Lancer's apparent lack of weight of fire, right? Like, people will often CP reroll a failed Lancer save. Because they know it's got no real weight of fire. Am I stoked for the Warhammer show by Cavill and Amazon? It'll be on Amazon Prime then. I liked the one that they did on Amazon Prime previously. Was it called Secret Level? But it was only like one short episode, right? Printing mugs is very good value, or very good margins. Or maybe I need to print like a water container. But no, thanks so much for, I mean, it's not just merch you guys buy, it's channel memberships, it's super chats. Thanks for all of that, right? Helps out so much. I do appreciate it. I mean, if I didn't have the YouTube channel, I feel like I'd probably be stuck in the office doing more overtime hours and I mean, I like my job to a degree, but I also, overtime saps your will to live, right? You know what I'm saying?
At Matthew Barks 6927 donated $19.99 via Super Chat. You are a good father and I value your input and sharing time with this brother.
Matthew, you are too kind to me, you know that? Dude, thank you so much. You really are too kind. But yeah, send me a Lamenter's idea, please, because I will chase him this week and be like, yo dude, I paid you like 4 months ago. Where the hell is the next t-shirt design? And then I'll say to him, one of the guys is wanting a Lamenter's one. Give me the last damn one that I paid for, you know? Like, where's it at? I need like a meme. You know, like, Sanguinius didn't die for this. My biggest regret with the Inceptors is that I have 3 more of them, and they are the Bolter variant. And now I love the Plasma variant. And I don't know if I've got any more of these wings, actually. Like, when I made these guys, it was very easy to get Firstborn Sangreguard wings. So I don't even know if I could finish the squad with all 6 of the wings. I'd probably have to go to eBay and get shafted paying like $10 a wing or something. Has anyone seen anyone selling like Firstborn Sangreguard wings, like 3D printed ones that are just the same as these ones? Like, I'm not looking for something different. I'm just looking for the exact same one. Yeah, so if you want me to review your list on stream, Chrissa, put it in the comment section over on the community page, and then we'll get you on the Armulus show that goes out every Sunday. I've got 3 old Sangreguard sealed boxes. Dude, I can't take one of those, man. Come on, they are like, that is literal gold dust. I appreciate the offer, but that is no. I need to, if I'm getting one of them, I need to buy one. I need to find someone. Miguel said he's got an STL that is identical to the old wings. That's what I'm talking about. Michael says I can send you 6 of the old wings. Why have you got 6 of the old wings just lying around, you maniac? What's wrong with you? Have you not been on eBay? How is it different from a super chat? Because I guess you can go out tomorrow, right, and earn $20, and then you can super chat that. You can't ever. This is why I bet you. Let's have a look. Hold on a sec. eBay. Sanguinary Guard. Let's say sealed. Right, $64, $94. These are pounds, right? So this pounds to dollars is like a third. So $100. Sorry, £100 is like $133. So that's like $125 there for the sealed Firstborn. This one might be worth watching though, right? Like 0 bids. Is this sealed? The thing is, like, all you guys are seeing it as well, right? Like, I'll add it to the watch list. That's almost what it used to retail for. So, like, it has gone up almost 3 times. Oh, this guy's got loads of them. Look, you can buy 3, you can buy... He's got 5. Wow, this guy was clever. Look at that. He bought 5 of these, and he's selling them for 3 times retail. I mean... Oh, like, here's someone selling them from America. This is an America sale. Oh, and then look, someone's got 2 of them. So that one's $200 for 2 boxes of them. Fucking A. That's a really old box, actually. That's not even like, because this is the box from like 8th edition, maybe? No, this is a 9th edition box because this is the new logo. That logo didn't come out until 9th edition. Because remember, it was the old, it was like this logo in 8th edition. So this one is, this is in America. Yeah, like 120 bucks. And this would be an 8th edition box set. I think the sprue would be the same. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? These are only going to go up in price. Because there is no way to replace them. That was just an empty box. What? That was just an empty box for 120 bucks? That... No. Was it? Maybe I missed it. But yeah, they will only go up in price because they give our chapter flavour that I feel like we really just don't have anymore. Scammers are the worst. Oh, Marius. I mean, we should have all seen that. That's the thing that maybe annoyed. Like, we should have seen that coming, right? Like, we should have seen. That was a joke. Okay, you're messing with me. Okay, you're allowed to mess with me, dude. When I buy stuff on eBay, I always check everything. Like, I've had some great deals on eBay for Warhammer stuff. I've had some. I once won a set of football boots for my kids on eBay. Thanks so much for hanging out, dude. Good night. That was like. They were so. I won a set of football boots that were so cheap. The person messaged me and was like, "You won these football boots at such a low price. I can't even afford to post them out to you. Would you mind sending me some money for postage?" I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. Send me your PayPal and I will send you the postage because, you know, like I won the football boots. I think I won them for like 99 cents or 99 pence, and they'd forgotten to put postage on them. So she was like, if I send you these football boots, I actually lose money." And I was like, yeah, send me your PayPal and I will send you the postage because I'm not making you lose money to get rid of your old stuff. But you know, eBay is great for like if you watch stuff and you pick it up at the last minute. And I did pick up a bunch of Sangre Guard stuff and Death Company stuff when they were like ending those ranges. But I guess if you'd been on the ball there, you could have bought like 10 boxes of the Firstborn Sangre Guard, and you could have I mean, those will all sell, and they're only going to go up in price. It's bonkers. You've seen people selling empty boxes. What? Why would you want the empty box? Like to troll people, or like legitimate? Like people just want the old boxes. Like, I'm not understanding why you would want the empty box. Oh, it's just a scam? Oh, right, okay. I was going to say, you sure it's not Valrak? I'm messing. Don't link him that. Don't clip that. Take care, Michael. Nice to see you. Thanks for hanging out. We'll have a live game next Wednesday for sure. Matthew, did you send me your list for the Iowa Open? Or is it locked in already? Like, you can't change it? Fight against the bots. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we should have... I feel like I should have seen that coming, right? Like, I guess the thing is, we thought the new models would be great. But then I suppose the second we saw the reveals of the new models and they weren't quite what we were hoping for, even though I already had like 30 Sangre Guard, I should have still bought a couple of the boxes just for the parts. But then I guess... I don't know, I think if we hold on long enough, maybe some of those old parts will come back. I really hope so. Hey, Go For It Painting, how are you, dude? Good evening. Man, I have never been to an event where I play more than 5 games, and I think usually by game 5, I'm in the territory of like, I am going to play badly because I am tired. Or I'm just maybe like... I feel like game 5 for me is always really difficult because like, I feel like I don't know if it's tiredness or maybe it's like, is it my attention span or something? I don't know. Peanuts likes the new models. Yeah, here's the thing. If you like the new models, more power to you, man. Like, I know that some people are super upset about it. I think it's, for me, it's like, I feel like the models I lost a bit of flavour. And I maybe really liked the flavour before or something. So I'm struggling. Maybe they'll grow on me. But yeah, if you like the new models and you're happy, then don't let anyone tell you otherwise, right? Like, but I sort of struggle with that a little bit, I guess. Those are some large increases on Knights. Yeah, Knights and Death Guard, man. I don't think those nerfs could have come soon enough, honestly. So I'm really happy that both those armies got, I guess, considerable points increases, right? It's probably about 10%, right? Like, my friend just won a GT, Andrew, with Knights. His list was 2,000 points, went up to 2,180. And I think Death Guard, I think I heard the same thing, where like Death Guard lists have just gone up 200 points. So they just basically have to drop a whole unit and then some. And I mean, I did get beat by Death Guard a couple of times by 1 point. Well, if they had 1.5 less units, then that would have been a victory, right? Only got beat by 1 point. So, I mean, I think some people were wanting actual rules changes as well, but I think this might be enough. I guess we'll find out. I'm going to play Death Guard next week on the channel. That's my plan. Can someone send me the link to the community page? Yeah, I can send you it. It's just like... Here. They lost their flavour because most of the chapters of Blood died on Baal. I mean, I guess you could somewhat justify that from the lore, but... Nah. I don't... If that's how they're justifying it, I don't like it, man. Come on. Gabriel Seth didn't die. Where's he at? We really do need a new Blood Angels book, though, don't we? Like Darkness in the Blood. Like I looked up Darkness in the Blood like not too long ago, and I was amazed at how long that book how long ago that book came out. You check. Darkness in the Blood release date. Yeah, 2019, man. Really? Originally published 2019. Like, the paperback came out in August 21. The paperback usually comes out about a year after the hardback, right? Maybe it's 2020, but regardless, it's 5 years without a new Blood Angel story. What's going on? Mick Fatson! I've been waiting for you, dude. Salamanders, do you like it? The Astrath Flesh Tearers book? Yeah, do you know what? I've got both those books, but I guess I was talking about the main story. I quite liked the Astrath book. The Flesh Tearers book I need to go back to. I got like 2 chapters in and it was just Flesh Tearers fighting each other all the time, and then I sort of fell out of it. Why can't you just... Didn't Vulcan come out to buy? Why do you need to proxy him? Well, these Inceptors are slowly coming on. I think I need to paint a brighter red on them. I think I've chosen Mephiston red, and I don't think it's bright enough. Oh, proxy because he's Blood Angels? Guy Haley was too busy writing the Dawn of Fire series. Down with the Dawn of Fire series. Come on. Write about a real chapter, huh? Are you okay, love?
Yeah.
Oh, you still have work to do? Okay. Sorry, I didn't realise you'd fallen asleep.
And then started work. Go back out. To school. 16-minute short.
One of my paint pots was open when I came in here. Pretty sure I didn't leave it open. And one of my paint pots is missing. Was one of the kids in here messing around? No.
Was in here.
So while you were working, was one of the kids like behind you doing things? Are you sure?
Like Mike came in at one point to ask for a snack, and then he brought a snack in.
Okay.
Other than that.
It was like I saw the pot and it was like the top was like that, and I was like,
I mean,
I'm pretty sure I didn't leave it like
I
that.
might have been trying to work and he fiddled with it. I
Yeah.
didn't see.
Seems suspicious.
Or it's old age and you forgot. You left it.
Yeah, it's probably old age. Peanut said, I've never played a tournament, but I have a somewhat competitive lag list. I want to try a tournament, but I think competitive players will roll me. Do you advice for first timers? Yeah. Go in with no expectations is a good first timer thing, and the first time you go to a tournament, you'll play a lot of armies you've never played before. You'll lose because you've never played them before. So you go in with no expectations, go and be as best a sportsman as you can. You should watch the video I made last couple of weeks about, I think I called it like my worst GT performance ever. Because I try to have fun and try and be a good sport. And yeah, you will get rolled a bunch of times in your first event, but then you'll learn. And it took me like 8 years to win a tournament. I do a stream every Sunday night when we look at army lists. That's how it works. Don't go with any expectations to get any wins. Yeah, I mean, Marius, in one of his first tournaments, he won the wooden spoon. He was pretty happy about that. People are saying hello to you, love, because you came in.
Hello.
I think people remembered our drunken stream from New Year. Enjoyed that very much.
Not you.
No.
I have to do.
Yeah. Well, I have to do a lot more painting on these guys, and it's getting late. Still. I'm gonna have to search for that paint, because if I've lost it, I need to replace it. Well, it's Celestra Grey.
It's not there on the other thing.
So I'm thinking this one must have been next to the new one, right? Because I bought a new one.
Is it the new one that's missing?
It's the new one that's missing, and this one was half open. It seems suspicious that...
Is it over the table now?
And also that cushion that usually lives over in that corner was also somewhere else. So yeah, so unless you moved it. No, so it was so a little 3-year-old or a 5-year-old has been in.
Probably the 3.
You ever seen that bit?
5 was at school.
The 5 was at school. Okay, so it was the 3-year-old. I just imagine something.
They came in here while I was cooking dinner.
I'm imagining something about that new Stitch movie. You know, when Stitch is walking through, like, destroying the sandcastles.
Because we were out
Like,
dancing as well.
That's what it's like with the 3-year-old.
Living with,
A 3-year-old, yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
when I went to collect her,
Uh-huh.
you have to stand on that
Yeah.
playground to wait to collect them as well. Michael would not
Would not stand
behind the
right.
line. He's way out past the line, running in circles now. It's like, Michael, come back here. And then he ran a little bit closer to where I was.
Yeah.
Gave me the cheesiest shit-eating grin. And then lay down and started doing roly-polies across the playground while making eye contact.
Okay. I think I'm going to go look for this paint, guys. I'm tired anyway. So thank you so much for hanging out tonight. I've got a new video coming out about Liberator Assault Group on Friday. I've got that video about Dark Angels coming out. I think that'll come out on like Monday or Tuesday. I'll be doing my normal stream on Saturday night, painting, and I should be doing the Army List show again on Sunday. So I will see you all later in this week, I think. And then, yeah, next week should be Death Guard, new points costs. So if you enjoyed tonight's stream, please leave a like. Thank you so much for hanging out. McFatson, I'm looking forward to seeing your Army List submission with all the flamers now that you've got your Salamanders detachment. So definitely send me that, because I want to see it. Because you'll have thought of something that the rest of us will not have thought of when it comes to flamers, because you are our resident... You're like a resident fire starter. Because you don't know any better, Charlotte. In 40k, flamers fucking suck for Space Marines. They're just so bad. But there's one guy in my chat, McFatson, who like every week, just for years now, has just tried to make flamers work. And the rest of us tell him flamers fucking suck. It's like, I don't care. I'm making a list with flamers. They finally got something somewhat decent rules yesterday. Or today, actually, excuse me.
I was just are you telling me all this time he's still not fucking made it? He's never made them yet.
Yeah.
He's the slowest model maker / painter in the history of the planet.
Yeah, so he's going to finally have something to share with us.
You McSlowson, not
McSlowson. Alright, McSlowson. Alright, we'll see you guys all later. I hope you know that's a joke.
Yes.
Have a great evening. Peace. See you later.